quit my job. I pack everything in the back of an old Honda Civic. I had this old gray Honda Civic. I even like rolled up a foam mattress and I rolled it in the back seat of the car with like duct tape. And I drive up a random middle of the night in October 2007. Of course, when I get there, I can't pay rent. I have around $1,000 in the bank. My rent, I vividly remember, was $1,150. It turns out the weekend I was going to be there, the first weekend, there was the International Design Conference. It was coming to San Francisco. And Joe and I went on the conference website, and they hadn't recommend hotels on the conference website. But every hotel next to the hotel said sold out, sold out, sold out. And we had this idea. We said, well, you know, we have all this extra space. We can barely pay rent, and these designers probably want to stay with other designers. So we said, what if we just turned our house into a bed and breakfast for the design conference? Unfortunately, I didn't have any beds, but Joe had 3 airbeds. I don't know why, he went camping. And so we inflated the airbeds and we called it the Airbed and Breakfast, airbedandbreakfast.com. And that's where the name comes from. And I remember that conference, we ended up having 3 people that we hosted, a 35-year-old woman from Boston, a 30-year-old from India, a 45-year-old father from Utah. The second night of this conference, I see a designer that I admire, and I come up to him and I told him about Airbed and Breakfast. I told him it's gonna be the biggest thing in the world. One day, thousands of people are gonna use this. And he looks at me very seriously and he said, Brian, and I said, yes. He said, I hope that's not the only idea that you're working on. And I was like, just felt punched in the stomach. And it turns out that I would be so excited about this idea, and Joe would be so excited about this idea, and we tell people, and they just thought it was the worst idea they've ever heard of. They said, there's no way that strangers are gonna stay with other strangers. Somebody says, I don't wanna give you money because I don't want blood in my hands. Like, people actually said things like that. And they said it was the worst idea ever. So if it worked, I guess it was the worst idea that ever worked.